Leo, hi, this is your October 2024 soul story. If you have a sun, rising or moon in the sign, this is your reading. It's Romy here. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. We're going to open up this month with the Page of Wands, Daughter of Staffs for you. I think you're maybe asking yourself through the course of this month, do I still want this? And I want to say to you, don't be radical. I think there's more that needs to play out, and perhaps this is a time to just kind of sit in the possibility, lean into some of the things that you might be considering, but don't be too impulsive or rash. It may be that you feel it's not going to work out, and that's why you're beginning to question or doubt something. I actually feel that it is, and I think if you allow yourself, you're going to be able to access like a really powerful resiliency and adaptability through the course of October. I also think that you want to clear the energy and clear the air. So, perhaps it's just a time to just remind yourself of perhaps what has been absorbed, of maybe if you've felt, a little bit depleted, or, you just want to strip back or simplify or clear something out. It's just going to make a huge difference to just like move some of the more, what I think is going to be like stagnant energy. It's also, of course, October where the veil is at its thinnest. So just a reminder to ensure you're protecting your energy so that you're not picking up those unwanted attachments. But as you consider and reflect around, do I still want this? Does it still hold the same value and meaning to me? We open up October with a new moon eclipse in Libra, and they always come along bringing some surprise revelations, bringing things to light that we need to acknowledge and address, perhaps shifting or changing the trajectory of things. And this one is activated quite strongly with Black Moon Lilith, who's also moving through Libra right now. And so some of our more primal emotional responses are felt, i.e. we're quite triggered through the shadow, what is unresolved, unmet, not acknowledged. But that is also the direct route to becoming more empowered and to standing in the fullness of our light so that we can actually express ourselves more clearly, particularly in the realm of relationships, right, through Libra season. You've got the Wheel of Fortune coming in here, so definitely being prepared for some things to come in unexpectedly. Both figures are sort of dancing and very much in flux. That's why I'm saying this adaptability and this fluidity is really going to serve you as you kind of move your way through the month. Now, because we're lighting up that third house, it's a fantastic time for you to share, to express, to present, to publish, anything regarding communication is really in your sweet zone this month, and you do it with balance and you do it with real flair and artistry, and you would be surprised in terms of the doors that can open for you. Okay, so be aware of sort of taking advantage of that, but also understanding that you might, based on what that Wheel of Fortune is going to deliver, need to make some short-term tactical plans, okay, which will definitely help you in the longer term. If you're asking yourself, when is the time to begin? Well, the time to start is always now. Time is such a gift, a precious gift, and you want to cherish and respect it. And if there are things that you feel moved and compelled towards, and actually this is a month where I'm saying, compelled is a really powerful theme. We are working with energy in a way that's trying to resolve what is not in balance. And your Knight of Swords definitely tells me that there's something incoming that's going to feel compelling for you, that you're going to want to sort of hitch a ride on. He's bringing news and information of that surprise, of that opportunity. Are you in a position where you're able to say yes to something? Are you in a place where, you can give yourself permission even when there is unknown? Right? Not everything can be understood immediately, and sometimes we need time and space, right, to process and to tend to kind of what's coming up. But there does feel, to a certain degree, there's an urgency about what's coming in. Now, that doesn't translate in you needing to act with urgency, right? Like, I just feel like what's happening and what's sort of fated and destined and pulling and kind of cajoling and trying to direct your energy and attention towards something is coming in like a big strong wave this month. it's not that you miss out on anything, but I definitely feel like Spirit want to get your attention so that you can address something, okay? And as I said, if you are feeling this is not going to work out, I think there is some sense of October demonstrating and giving some sense of validation that you're on the right track, but perhaps it's just going to deliver or come about in ways that you couldn't have anticipated and you certainly didn't expect. Now, Jupiter goes retrograde in Gemini on the 9th. And remember, Jupiter retrograde in Gemini is asking us the question, like, how do we receive information, right? So that Knight of Swords is coming powering in with the Wheel of Fortune. It's bringing opportunity. How are we receiving it? You've got the Tower coming through there. So, you know, sometimes we might be aware that we're becoming a bit fatalistic. You know, sometimes we're sort of always looking at the worst case scenario, or, you know, we take information, there's a lot of confirmation bias going on. It's like there's an opportunity here. Remember, like when Jupiter shines its light on anything, there's an expansion taking place. If things are shifting in your outer world, which they are, and things are being lined up, which they are, if you have not allowed yourself to grow into the new version of you, then you're going to end up self-sabotaging. You're going to end up pushing away, and you're going to end up interpreting events, situations, experiences from a limited lens. And so that's why this cycle can be incredibly beneficial, and it might shake your world. It might reframe it in such a powerful way that you have like a epiphany and a moment of like, what was I thinking? What have I been doing? Like, what on earth? And so there's this like real stark kind of questioning that I think is going to go on, particularly perhaps when it comes down to relationships, maybe the reciprocity, what you've endured, what you've put up with, you know, what has been influencing you, distracting you, coercing, controlling, whatever. You know, we're looking at releasing a lot of the shadow aspects of Libra as we deal with that South Node energy. We also have, of course, Pluto stationing direct in Capricorn on the 11th. We're drawing a final line under something. The determination, but also your willingness to allow yourself to kind of evolve from the lessons and the, you know, the challenges that brought through for you, you know, is also being really clearly demonstrated. Now, there's a strong cause and effect in place, and what I'm going to say to you is, if there are people in your world through the course of this month that are acting in ways that not necessarily you think are the right way, or impacting, you know, in less desirable ways, you kind of need to let them do what they think they need to do. What I want to say is that you're okay, but you know, it might be that they've been under your skin a little bit. Six of Coins, reciprocity, bringing back into balance. Remember, October is a month where we're saying compelling events, experiences shape how we can address to bring things back into balance. We've got some really beautiful trines with Venus. Look out for them. Saturday the 4th with Saturn, the 8th with Mars, and Neptune with the 15th coming through. These are times where conditions can feel a bit more favourable, or you're able to kind of see the wood for the trees, maybe a little bit more positive in your energy, or just exchanges can offer up a little bit more hope and optimism as Venus kind of shines a more loving warmth and light on things, right? You do have support or some sort of instance of something coming in, particularly if you have some disruption, or where that tower has come in and sort of broken a foundation. And sometimes, you know, if the foundation is inherently affecting how secure or safe you feel in regards to something, it feels to me like immediately after the storm or the anarchy or the discord or ruffling of that experience, we have a smoothing out and this energy that comes back into you know, rhythm and harmony. And so knowing that you're not being left high and dry feels like an important thing to say. I just think you're not necessarily seeing all of the upside of why this has to happen and why it has to happen at this exact moment in time. What I will say is, don't say you're fine when you're not, because there is help, there is support, and there is access to things that can materially, emotionally, energetically improve your circumstances and your overall sense of well-being through the course of this month. But it needs to be shared, communicated, and expressed. And it feels like that earth angel or the right person will be there to hear, that can actually act on your behalf. But you know, it's also almost like you need to advocate for yourself first and foremost, and then something comes in. If you are feeling into the inequality of something, I think October also addresses it in a very powerful way, not just with the other person, but with you within yourself. What is it I am doing? What am I ignoring? What am I not embodying that's allowing me to understand the true value that I bring to the table, that realizes everything that I am and what I have to give and what I have to offer. So regardless of any perhaps negotiations or any kind of relationship or exchange that's going on, that self-directed inquiry through the course of October, super powerful in terms of how it shapes things. Now remember, we've got Mercury moving into Scorpio on the 13th. We've also got Venus in the sign until the 17th, and you know, there's some very compelling scenarios here in terms of when you are seeing things, it's landing in a way that's sort of attracting attention. It's deep, it's meaningful, it's transformative, and it has a deep desire to want to bring about a change. So I think you can really use that, especially Scorpio energy landing in your 4th house. It's about your foundations, your needs, wants and desires, and how safe and secure you feel. Remember, you have to be the inner parent for yourself, identifying perhaps where there is lack or, you know, things that are missing or void in your life. And you know, that's not always easy to recognize, you know, if you don't have a lot of healthy relationships or connections or role models to then know how to be all of the things that you need to be for you in this moment. That's the work, and I see help and support coming in, but once you've advocated for yourself. Now we have a full moon in Aries arriving on the 17th. Fire energy. Venus also shifts into Sagittarius the same day. Moon comes in at 24 degrees of Aries. The star, something really beautiful coming in, showing up. It almost says though, please let go. Please let go of this. Please surrender. Please allow the energy to move and something to be revealed to you that demonstrates actually that your resiliency has not been in vain, that there's recovery, there's optimism, there's something on the horizon here that can kind of hold space as you align with the thing that matters, with what you want and what you desire. And the fact that we got 6 of coins and the star coming through here, it bodes well. Along with that Wheel of Fortune, it just feels some sort of unexpected turn of events that could end up being or working in your favor. That's why I'm saying, if you're in deep consideration around, do I still want this? If there's something that your heart's still yearning, longing, wanting, needing, but you know, on a practical, intellectual level, if it's just like nothing's moving, nothing's showing up, nothing's changing, the results are not here, I'm not seeing any shift, then just allow this month of October to kind of do its thing and see what more comes through for you, because I feel like there's more to come. I feel like the story is kind of not quite finished in some aspect of your life. The full moon also will bring about like rising emotions, and so, you know, mindful then, particularly with that Tower, that Knight of Swords, where more aggravated energy or people that are a bit ruffled seem to be sort of misfiring in your direction, or perhaps projecting things that, you know, if you're not careful, you could end up absorbing as if it were your own. It's not necessarily the case. Let them do you, let them do them rather. And really, I feel it's incumbent upon you around that full moon to check in with how you feel things are affecting you, because between Black Moon Lilith on the eclipse and then that Aries kind of bringing about compulsive, you know, sometimes irrational sort of behavioral responses, because we're in sort of survival mode, you know, has a lot to teach us. And I think you're at a moment where you're about to have like a really incredible breakthrough with regards to the self, and how you get yourself out of like a consistent sort of fight or flight energy, if that's something that's been around you for some time, as you sort of address particularly what might be happening closer to home as we move into Scorpio season with that 4th house, and you know, just knowing how to take care of, like they just gave me this phrase, like how to take care of business, you know. It's just almost like you get this kind of very pragmatic but nurturing and capable sort of side of you emerging. And just watch the minute that you move into that, it's almost like people then mirror that, because you get more supportive individuals showing up to help you. I think you also have something beautiful coming in by way of almost like a vision of the future of like your life, you know, and it might just feel like, gosh, that felt like a nice dream. That was like a nice daydream, or wouldn't that be nice? I kind of have you almost like not dismissing it, but feeling like it's just more this you know, this sort of fantasy. But to me, I feel at this time there's something like really quite you know, prophetic and powerful about it. I think there's a direct correlation between something that's going to be achieved, or that you're going to be directed towards in your manifestations, and who you need to become to align with that vision for the future. So pay attention and do not discount it. In fact, put great value in how you're being communicated to from you know, your own higher self and your team in spirit right now. Okay, it's wanting you to help address the healing and become the version of you that is in fact already living out that future. Right now, this is the first part of the reading for October. If you're new to the channel, our extended we talk about for another 30 minutes or so. We'll look at a personal and a relationship card, as well as going deeper into this reading and looking at the reveals. So if you're able to invest, it really supports me showing up for the free readings, and I thank you. And I'm just going to go ahead and clarify the cards and see the direction that we're going to be taking this for you, Leo. Okay, so just starting out with that Page of Wands. Okay, we got energy of the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Now, my new journal, the Life Soul Vision journal, is out for pre-orders. It's arriving in November. I'm super excited. It sort of completes the trilogy of my deck and my book. It's really unlike anything that you have in your collection. So I hope you'll check it out over on the website, romywiser.com. There's some great offers to secure a pre-order right now, including a reading with me, which is not readily available at the moment. And this is really acting more like a kind of soul Bible for you. You know, it complements your existing planners and journals in a way that it'll just be a constant reference and companion for you, because it's going to hold so much richness of your experience and things about your spiritual journey that you want to keep returning to over and over again, especially when you're going through periods of change, transformation, you know, healing. So yeah, I'm super excited. Please take a moment if you haven't seen it already, or place your order. Okay, what do we have with the star here? We have the Knight of Wands, Eight of Swords. All the cards, all the decks are always listed below, yeah. Okay. So let's have a look at some oracles for you as well, Leo, for the month of October. This is Life Soul Vision, my deck. Collective Hearts. Waterfalls of White Light. Spirit Wolf. There's a whole lot of water coming in there for you. Blossoming Soul Song. Nourish your inner wealth. Detours from the Divine. That has been a regular feature for most readings this month of October. I think these eclipses, it's the nature of it, isn't it? There's usually surprising trajectory shifts that come in, oftentimes things coming in threes. Surrendering into the experience instead of struggling with it, because breakdowns often precede the breaking open and actually the breaking through, which is exactly what's needed. Okay, we're looking at a couple more oracles here. So we've got Sacred Space with the Crowl Oracle, and then Time Travelers. Perfect deck for October, as this veil is so thin. Let's have a look. What do we have here? You've got Healing, the Dream Temple of Asclepius in Greece. Beautiful. Sacred Space and Healing. That feels really nurturing. Perfect for 4th house and Scorpio season. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you'll join me for the extended, Leo. Have a beautiful month of October, and I'll see you again soon. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.